Well, hello and welcome into the video of the week, the class of the week, for the topic of the week for the week of May 3rd, 2021. And the conversation this week is client conversations. The time we spend behind the chair. How do we use it? What do we have to hear? What should we say? And how can we use client conversations to our advantage in the interest of course, building business? Welcome into the video. Hey, let's get started by doing you a favor and doing me a favor. Two each, actually. Like the video if you like the video, and comment on the video if you got something to share. Those would be two favors you'd do for me. And for you, well, subscribe to the channel, never miss a video, and turn on notifications so you're knowing when it happens. That's the way things work around here in YouTube video world. I help you, you help me, we help we. It's all good for everybody. Before we go there, of course we go here. $100,000 haircut or tip of the day for May 3rd, 2021. Let's turn to May 3rd. And see what we have in store. May 3, day 123 with 242 days remaining in the year. One blade, two lengths. One blade, two lengths. Now that applies to snap-on detachable steel blades. It also applies to clip-on plastic guides, guards, or attachment combs. One blade, two lengths. What do we mean by that? This is the idea that by reversing the direction, changing the direction relative to the growth pattern on the hair, one same blade can leave behind on the head more than one length. Two lengths, but even more, depending on texture, density, growth pattern, and the direction in which you're moving. If you're moving against the natural growth direction of the hair, think the hair's growing down and you're coming up, that's really going to give you the shortest length that blade is capable of. That being said, if the hair is growing down and the clipper is moving down with the growth direction, some of that hair lays down in front of the blade, ahead of the blade, thereby cutting it less short, leaving more hair behind on the head. One blade, two lengths is a key principle in how we blend short, tighted, faded haircuts, and we create beautiful tapering, beautiful nape tapering. You go at it the long way, turn the tool over and go the other way, the short way. Long and short, long and short, long and short. And if you're struggling to take a line out, go to the short way, get out onto the heel of the blade, but that's a tip for another day. That's riding the heel. So today's tip, a technical tip. But you know, there's more than just technical in here. It's all in here. Business building, advertising, sales, marketing, promotion, hiring, training, all aspects of working on becoming a $100,000 haircutter. It's in the book. And of course, the technical tips are in there too. So let's get into the topic of the week for the week, client conversations. You know, this became timely because as we see the light at the end of the COVID-19 pandemic tunnel, here in 2021 in the United States of America, we're getting vaccinated. Things are looking up. Things are improving. We're getting back to business. But it's a changing world. And having been locked down, locked out, having been removed from or eliminated from a lot of social contact in the ways that we were so familiar, you know, things feel a little different. Things feel a little changed. Things feel a little strange. So there are some lessons that we can learn. There's some things we can take from this. Big lesson comes from the 2020 election cycle. You know, I've cut hair in barbershops and hair salons for over 30 years, and that's put me in the shop during quite a few election cycles, whether they be the 4-year presidential election cycles or midterm elections. And never before these last two elections has the politics been toxic like it has. Has politics almost been off limits in the barbershop? You know, we knew the barbershop as a place you could talk about anything. A hair salon, anything goes. But we know how it felt when somebody would float an idea, a political thought or an opinion, and it fell dead in the room. Everybody in the room stopped talking. Nobody in the room wanted to touch it. That's the kind of uncomfort or discomfort we really are trying to avoid. And I think it's starting to feel that way with the pandemic conversations. Social distancing. Can you go to a restaurant? Can we go to a sporting event? Are we wearing masks or not? Are we vaccinated or not? How do we feel about it or not? It's a challenging time. And I think it starts with remembering why we're here. First and foremost, we are here to serve clients. We are here to deliver services and to take care of people. We are in a career and an industry of dedication to service to others. I think it's easy to go astray. It's easy to fall off the wagon. It's easy to lose sight of, hey, that's why we're here. And I want to use this topic this week as a way of remembering that. You know, I also want to reflect on, we've all been there, that time, that circumstance or situation when a coworker in a barbershop or a hair salon is getting married, or a coworker, heaven forbid, is having a baby, or a coworker is in the throes of a house purchase, a real estate transaction. These are all wonderful life events, and they're things we're excited about sharing. But if that's your coworker in the chair next to you, every 30 minutes, they rewind the tape and they start over with the baby update or the wedding update or what's going on with the house build or house closing update. And while some clients may truly have an interest, I'm going to go out on a limb and say most clients really don't. They really don't care. They really don't want to hear it. And we, working next to them, really don't want to hear it again. It's painful. Do I have to listen to this again? Think about how your conversations not only impact how it feels for you and your client in the chair and what you're doing to color, one way or the other, that experience, and think about how it impacts everybody else, the entire room. Don't be that hair cutter. Don't create that situation. So for pandemic conversations, and I'm specifically speaking to pandemic conversations, but I think you'll see that it transfers. This conversation, these 4 tips, I think they transfer over to a lot of topics and a lot of conversations. Because it comes down to control. And I say this about professional beauty and barber individuals, beauty and barber professionals, hair cutters, licensed cosmetologists and barbers. I say this all the time. You have control of very little in your life. Truth be told, all you really have control over is 25 square feet of planet Earth. A small part of planet Earth. It is 5 feet wide. It is 5 feet deep. And in the center of it is a haircutting chair. That's your little piece of the planet. If you have a spouse and a partner, if you have children, if you have family members, if you have siblings, everything outside that chair is pretty much out of your control. You're a part of something bigger. But that chair, and that chair is part of something bigger, but that chair, that's yours to control. Take control of what happens in that chair, specifically as it relates to client conversations, the discussions we have. Here are my 4 tips. Tip number 1, wait for the client to bring it up. Don't open that door. Hey, you vaccinated yet? Boom, we're in it. Hey, have you been to a restaurant since lockdown ended? Boom, you're in it. Don't go there. If the client wants to go there, trust me, believe me, the client will go there. Don't open the door. One of the ways a client can signal they don't want to talk about something is by not bringing it up. Don't do them that disfavor. Don't open the door. Wait for the client to bring it up. Number 2, when it comes up on the client's part, let them go. Let them run with it a little bit. Don't cut them off. We're here to serve. We're here to be there for them. Let them go a little bit. Let them run. Let them say. Just listen. Don't talk. Just listen. Don't talk. Let them have their say. They'll read the room. If they say something that others hear and don't engage with, they'll feel it. They'll know, and they'll change the topic. Number 3 on the list, don't ask follow-up questions. If a client says something and you choose to acknowledge it in a polite and professional way, hey, I got vaccinated last week. Well, good for you. That's a statement. You hear them. You acknowledge them. You don't need to say anything else. Don't open the box. Don't put your foot in the trap. Could be a trap. You don't know how that's going to go. And your goal is to create the best possible situation for this client, every other client in the room, every client that was here before, and every client that's coming in after this conversation is done happening. Number one, wait for the client to bring it up. Number two, let the client run just a little bit. Number three, don't overly engage. Don't ask a follow-up question. Be polite, be professional, acknowledge, but don't feed the beast. And number three, change the subject. And when you're changing the subject, change it to hair. Talk about take-home hair care product. Talk about the next appointment. Talk about what we're doing this appointment. Talk about what we did last appointment and how it worked out. You run a risk here. There's a danger. The danger is you will establish a reputation for being all about hair. The danger is the client will think of you as crazy super focused on hair. The danger is the client will get the feeling you don't know anything about anything except hair. And wouldn't that be the worst thing that could happen to you in an interaction with a client in a haircutting career? That's right. That's where you want to go in the first place. Take control of your 25 square feet. Take control of the client conversations. Lead the client where you want them to go, and make sure you lead them to solutions, services, and opportunities that are good for you and good for your bottom line. I so very much want to know what you think about this topic. I so very much want to keep the conversation going. Remember, video comes out on Monday each week. Tuesday is Text Blog Tuesday. Wednesday, we talk about the podcast. The podcast posts on Sunday, but Wednesday is the day we focus on the podcast. So do you a favor, do me a favor. Like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications. Thank you so much for being here. And if you're not already a member, join the tribe at patreon.com. The link is in the video description. Be a member of the tribe. Take advantage of all the tribal benefits, all the education, and all the support that's out there. I want to help you be a $100,000 hair cutter. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.